Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving right into a genuinely fascinating policy proposal today. It's a blueprint that outlines how West Bengal, and honestly all of India, could completely transform its approach to industrial growth. The source material we're looking at details a massive shift, moving away from a really painful legacy of forced land acquisition and towards building a futuristic, advanced air mobility hub. It's a pretty incredible approach that merges strict ethical considerations with cutting-edge technology, so let's get right into it. Can we build the future of mobility without destroying the farmers of today? That is the million-dollar question, right? For decades, industrialization has felt like this brutal zero-sum game. Progress for cities almost always meant displacement for rural communities. But the source material we are unpacking today argues that society actually doesn't have to choose between a thriving industrial sector and a secure agricultural base. As you'll see, the moral and economic stakes discussed in this proposal literally couldn't be higher. Let's start with Section 1, the ghost of Singur and the need for trust. You see, historically, the events at Singur became this massive warning sign. It represented a total collapse of trust, a situation where the state simply took land from the farmer for industry, often through coercion. It's a completely outdated framework of dispossession. But the new mindset proposed by the text suggests something radically different. The farmer actually becomes a partner in development. This is a massive paradigm shift. It replaces forced acquisition with voluntary, transparent, market-based negotiation. The core argument here is that true development should be built on equitable partnership, not leverage. Moving on to Section 2, valuing farms like corporations.
Okay, but how do we actually make a farmer a partner in the real world? Well, the source suggests completely changing how we calculate worth. The traditional model just hands a farmer the current market price of the physical dirt and walks away. The new framework proposed is called fair land value, and it is so much more comprehensive. It takes the market price, sure, but then it adds the capitalized value of future agricultural income, a livelihood loss premium, a food security premium, and a family inheritance premium. Why? Because a fertile farm is not just dead physical property. It's a multi-generational revenue-producing enterprise. It protects a family against hunger, inflation, and unemployment. When that land is taken away, a functioning family business is essentially being shuttered.
Look at it this way. When we compare corporate valuation to traditional farmland valuation side by side, the difference is kind of wild. Investors don't just look at what a company owns today, they value future earning capacity, and they apply revenue multiples. But traditional farmland valuation? It only looks at the dirt, completely ignoring the future. The argument here is absolutely brilliant. If a publicly traded company's revenue deserves a valuation multiple, a farmer's recurring yearly crop yield warrants the exact same financial respect. It's a corporate analogy that aims to completely reshape how we think about land policy. Which brings us to Section 3, a better compensation model. So what are the tangible policy solutions to actually treat these farmers as corporate partners? The source lays out a 5-step process. First, an upfront market plus payment that actually exceeds the artificially depressed administrative value. Second, calculating future income over a 20 to 30-year horizon. Third, providing inflation-indexed annuities, so the money doesn't just lose its value over time. Fourth, offering actual equity participation in the industrial project itself. And fifth, whenever possible, leasing the land instead of a permanent sale. The text presents this model as the ultimate way to replace a vanishing one-time check with long-term, stable financial security. But wait, there's more. Beyond just compensation, the proposal outlines strict safeguards on what land is even eligible, creating a specific land use hierarchy. Basically, priority absolutely must go to degraded, abandoned, or unused government land. Fertile, multi-crop land, that has to be the absolute last resort. And crucially, there must be a return clause, meaning if the industrial project fails to start, the land goes right back to the original owners. The source makes a really critical point here. Development must never, ever sacrifice a nation's food security for the sake of urban progress. All right, Section 4, the eVTOL technology leapfrog. This is where things get really futuristic. Now, electric cars are a sensible direction, sure, but the source makes a bold argument. West Bengal shouldn't just copy older industrial models from other states. Instead, it proposes leapfrogging straight into eVTOLs, that's electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. This moves the focus directly into advanced air mobility, drones, and electric cargo aircraft. It creates a distinctly new high-tech pathway for the region rather than just playing catch-up. Think about it. India has a massive, incredibly expensive road infrastructure challenge. Carving new highways through mountainous terrain can cost millions of dollars per mile and literally take decades. eVTOLs bypass this completely. They're presented as the perfect tools for rapid medical emergency transport, providing vital connectivity to remote areas and the Northeast, and acting as total game changers for disaster response. Because they rely on smaller footprint vertiports instead of endless stretches of asphalt, the source highlights them as the ideal solution for India's specific infrastructure hurdles. And geographically, this isn't just a shot in the dark. It's mapped out as a highly organized regional strategy called the Eastern India Advanced Mobility Corridor. Under this plan, Kolkata becomes the brains, the software and command hub. Durgapur and Asansol act as the manufacturing and engineering muscle. Haldia handles the logistics and port-linked supply chains, and Siliguri serves as the vital gateway to North Bengal and the Northeast. The text argues this positions Bengal not as a state trying to recover yesterday's factories, but as the master builder of tomorrow's mobility system. To make all this a reality, the proposal suggests something huge, inviting the Tata Group back to anchor this entire advanced mobility ecosystem. And this isn't just about building a single car factory. It's about leveraging a vast interconnected network: Tata Motors, TCS, Tata Power, Tata Advanced Systems. The argument is that utilizing their existing engineering, software, and aviation expertise could successfully anchor this massive high-tech vision for Eastern India. And that leads us to our final part, Section 5, Development with Dignity. This entire philosophy really boils down to 5 principles of a brand new doctrine. 1. Consent before conversion. 2. Partnership before displacement. 3. Future income before one-time compensation. 4. Food security before speculative industrialization. And 5. Technology leapfrog before copycat industry. It completely reframes the proposed role of the government. The blueprint suggests the state should stop acting like an owner of citizens' land and start acting as a trustee, protecting them from coercion and ensuring fair contracts. The source material summarizes this ambition with an incredibly direct, powerful mandate. We will not repeat Singur, we will redeem Singur. The stated goal here isn't to reopen old political wounds or figure out who won or lost in the past. True progress, the text argues, requires treating the past as a classroom. By embracing voluntary, farmer-partnered, high-technology development, West Bengal could achieve real reconciliation and turn a symbol of conflict into a shining model of modern policy. So that leaves us with one final, thought-provoking question. Will India adopt this new compact of development as dignity and literally leapfrog into the skies? The proposal lays out a technological blueprint and a moral framework aimed at ensuring farmers are partners, not victims. The opportunity is sitting right there on the runway. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.